Hello and welcome back to Story Time with Christina. Me. So, welcome back. Good to see you again or for the first time. I believe this is chapter 5 of Story Time. And today it's all about the kids. It's about the kids and, I have lots of theories. About when and how we shift our breathing pattern, and I think that it can be conscious and unconscious shifts to that reverse pattern, to that stress pattern, anywhere from birth, trauma at any time, especially during that time, all the way up to I think 8, 9, 10 is where what I've observed is where it's kind of either reversed or not. They figured it out or not. But most of the time it's reversed. So this first story, there's going to be a couple in this one chapter. And this first story is of a lady who, I can't remember exactly where we had this conversation. This portal that I've opened up of story time is enabling all of these old memories to kind of bubble up and pop up to be presented to you. They want to be heard. These stories want to be heard. So this woman had heard me speak and talk about reverse breathing pattern. And she came up to me after and she said, I remember the day that I reversed my breathing pattern. And I'm sitting there like, what? How? What? And she said, I was about 9 or 10. And I looked and observed around me at all the adults, and I noticed that their breath was different than mine. So I switched to match theirs. And I think both of us started crying at the same time, just like, holy shit. Oh my God. And she didn't remember it until that day, that moment, whatever triggered it, whatever unlocked that memory, and whatever we did. And, what a powerful thing to recall and to understand that these kids, our kids, the kids, us, at some point in our lives, either consciously or unconsciously decided to switch. And that our bodies are, especially at that young age, just adapting to everything, molding to everything around us. And I think it's as little as, a parent just constantly scolding and like, go to your room or do your homework or this or that, and that reaction of like constant inhale of like, are they coming, or what did I do wrong? And you're taking life in these little bits, and that alone shifts your breathing pattern, right? Along with the sports that you play and the things that you do. And another way or situation that I've come across in noticing kids' breathing patterns is through slacklining. So I have taught people, little kids here and there how to slackline in Santa Monica at the beach. And then I also taught at this skills gathering in Sequoias for yoga slackers. And I got to teach all these kids how to slackline. And I mean, wow, does it tell you, it really shows you the personality of that child, the persistence, the tenacity, the just like go, or like the jello, or like, well, I don't know what I'm doing. And no sense of awareness. It's just kind of like blobbing through life. It's kind of cute though. But I will use the cue, like teacup on the head, and then I'll have them just blow on the line. Almost like when they feel it shake, I'm going to have them just blow away, dust off the shaking. And it's the younger kids that actually get this a lot better. They still have this sense of alignment within themselves. And then as the child gets older, depending on their sports, so a dancer is trying to slackline, I say teacup on the head, and I say sit up tall, and they're aligning their spine, and they kind of have some idea still how to breathe. Although I've met dancers that didn't know how to breathe till later on. So I just want us all to take a moment and not only recognize maybe the points in our life that caused us to switch or assisted in the switching of our pattern, of the unconscious pattern, and think about the kids around us and how we're showing an example or not. It's more about the actions that I think it's more the actions that they copy as opposed to maybe the words or ideas or beliefs. It's all of it, right? But yeah, that moment with that woman was quite incredible and moving, and really opened up this whole thought process of how, why, when, and how do we adjust this so that this doesn't happen for my kids, for your kids, for future generations, and how do we create a structure of learning that allows them to understand intrinsically how to manage their physiology, as the parents will, end up going to work and spending less time with them and telling them to do their homework and causing their physiology to change and their emotion to change. But they can always come back to and know what that feels like to come back to that state of safety. Will that change the pattern inherently and intelligently, as opposed to teaching them specific patterns for specific things? I think we need that now because we're reverting back. But if you're learning that from the very beginning, what would happen? Who would we be? I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to have a baby eventually and find out. I don't know. But okay, I'm gonna end story time there. Thank you for joining me. Story time is the ending. And I will see you next time.